Hello everyone, this is Miroslava, the Metaphysical Chick, Multiverse Ambassador, here to help you master the Matrix by expanding your mind. I am at the forest today. It is November 2nd, so it is El Dia de los Muertos, and I wanted to continue to commune with the ancestors. I'm actually at the spot where I buried my wishes, the bay leaves, and that's, if you want to learn more about that, go to the video I posted yesterday about the Make-A-Wish manifestation ritual. So yeah, I just wanted to come back here and to share some perspectives that I have received about the shadow, about darkness. As you know, because right now the veil is pretty much non-existent, and we are able to dive in, and if we have achieved a space of neutrality within ourselves, we can dive in without distortion, and we can dive in to listen to the darkness, to listen to the shadow, and to have a better understanding of what their purpose is, or what they do, what those shadow beings do, or what the darkness as a whole is. So that's what I wanted to share here with you. This is more of a vlog, I guess, just me sharing what I think in the moment, and maybe later I'll dive deeper, and because I'm still understanding things. But yeah, so if you're interested, keep watching. So this whole thought about the shadow and this whole diving deep into the darkness or the underworlds happened because of this. I was creating a few spell jars, and I was creating this one. And when I was creating this specific magic spell jar, I was wanting to do it like everyone else does. I wanted to do something for protection. I wanted to do something for hex breaking, something for people that are suffering from demonic attachments or curses, or just that are really struggling with the shadow, with darkness. And as I was creating this, the whole energy kind of shifted. And at the completion of my creation, I was utilizing a candle to kind of seal the magic within the jar. And when I was putting out the candle, the smoke kind of created this circle. It was like a perfect smoke ring or smoke circle. And that's when I started to receive a lot of messages and a lot of information about the shadow. And it was like, holy shit. Holy shit. So my guides kind of showed up, and they were like, you're not here to do things like everyone else does. And that's good. If people want to utilize herbs and to utilize crystals to fight negative energies, if they believe that they are being attacked by demonic entities, then yeah, go ahead and do it. That's your perspective. That's what you feel you are experiencing. And, if you believe in it, then it definitely is real. But in my experience, I feel that I am here to really kind of get rid of all the distortion that exists around energy, around the shadow and around the light. And, and what was so crazy as well is that the candle that I was using was a white candle, and the outer shell was black. And I bought the candle because I thought it was going to be black all the way through. But when I was burning it, it turned out that the inside of the candle was actually white. And what the message that I received is that nothing ever is fully tainted or fully dark, fully negative. There is always this outer shell that is created, this outer shell that is created that holds a lot of those frequencies, a lot of that negative energy, and that is what creates all the chaos, or what creates a lot of the distortion. But deep inside, the light is always there, and the light cannot be destroyed. The light has always existed. And so it creates this beautiful harmony. And so the only thing that exists, that outer shell, that's just distortion. It's just layers of distortion. And those distortions is what creates fear. That's what creates judgment, what creates anger. So if you really want to get rid of the shadow, you have to first get rid of the distortion, of those distorted thoughts. And it all starts by the beliefs that you hold. We have grown up in a world, in a society that sees darkness, that sees the shadow as evil. And so that's what we believe. But it's like it really is about coming back to the heart and really coming back to a neutral space where we can see the shadow without distortion. And so I think it's very powerful. It really gives us back the power, and it allows us to work harmoniously with both the light and the shadow. So it really seems to me, or it feels to me, like what we fear is not really what is the truth. It's not really something that is real, because my understanding or my perspective is that everything is part of the whole, both light and the shadow. And there is beauty within the light, but there is also a lot of beauty and a lot of wisdom within the shadow. And as I've been tuning into this energy and diving deep to kind of feel what exists in the shadow, I have been kind of feeling the energy of these beings, shadow beings, and their energy is not really evil. I don't feel any sort of negativity or any sort of evil. And I feel that the reason they are showing up this way is because there is zero distortion within my perspective of how I perceive their energy. I come from a place of zero judgment. So I am showing up to listen to what they have to say, and what they are kind of sharing with me is that sometimes the poison becomes the antidote. And another perspective that they shared is that when people use vaccines, for example, is that they put a little bit of the virus inside of the vaccine, and that's what they inject in people to give the immune system a boost, to kind of help the immune system get used to the energy of the virus in order to fight it in a more successful way. And so what I feel is that sometimes diving into the shadow and really having a perspective that holds zero judgment is what is going to give you that protection around the distortion that exists of the shadow. And so if you believe in demonic entities, and if you believe that you are being cursed, really going to the shadow for guidance and for support is what's going to bring in that energy of really, it's like they are guardians. They protect those who come to them for support. And again, but this really takes a soul that has really mastered a lot of energy, that has mastered themselves. Because if you go to the shadow with even the slightest bit of distortion, that is going to really open up a whole world of chaos. And so this is only my perspective, and this is what I am experiencing. The shadow is equally powerful and equally beautiful and equally wise. And now, as the Thel is pretty much non-existent, I am able to really tune into that energy and feel the empowerment, feel also the love. There is a lot of love in the shadow, a lot of love in darkness. It's just a different kind of love. It is shown or expressed in a different way, and it's amazing. It really is amazing. What I am also feeling in this moment is that just like there are different levels of consciousness that hold the vibration of light, there are different levels of consciousness that hold the vibration of darkness, the vibration of those, I guess, of that energy. And so in the shadow, in darkness, there are shadow beings that do hold a vibration that is more negatively polarized, which is, like they are just like humans, like some humans are extremely good and extremely kind and so gentle, and they really want the best for humanity. But then there are other humans that, they make the choice to not really be a good person in society, so they do their own thing. And I do feel that you know, in the shadow, you do have a choice to either use the energy of the underworld, to use the energy of darkness for the good, or you can utilize the energy of darkness for your own gain, to cause chaos and to create chaos and to cause a mess in the underworlds and in, you know, other planets and just across the universe. So I guess, yeah, there are beings that do want to just create chaos and to cause harm, but those beings have made the choice. And that doesn't mean that every being that lives in the shadows, that holds the energy of darkness, is going to be exactly like those beings that are just out there and making a mess in the world. But you know, that's just, you know, another perspective. But you know, in just my experience, again, it just feels very powerful and very beautiful. And it's like a lot of these beings, a lot of these shadow beings have been in the underworlds and they have been rejected. That's another thing that I wanted to mention, is that a lot of the distortion is created by our rejection of darkness. And so if we really want to clear all distortion, clear the fear, clear the anger, clear all those negatively polarized emotions, then we have to first embrace our own darkness, get to know our own shadow. And I feel that that's going to really allow you to come back to a space of neutrality, and that's going to open you up to a whole new world of balance and harmony. And you know, because it's all part of the whole. There wouldn't be darkness if Source hadn't allowed that to happen. And Source allows it to happen because we all have a choice. It's free will, and we can have whatever experience we want. But you know, again, Source holds no judgment, and Source loves you, loves everyone, everything, regardless of what they do. So why would we be rejecting the shadow, rejecting these beings, if Source doesn't even do that? So what gives us the power to hold some of these beings accountable when Source doesn't even hold them accountable? You know, that's kind of like, you know, I don't know if accountability or accountable is the right word to use here, but I think you know what I think you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's just a beautiful experience, and just basking in the darkness and staying here. And also the darkness is also the feminine energy. The raw feminine energy is the void. And it is here where, you know, we birth the light. We birth the light. This is where light comes out of. So yeah, I think it's very beautiful, and we all have to walk through the underworlds, through the shadow, in order to really understand the light, to know what light is. So I think it's amazing. But again, my friend, this is only my perspective. And yeah, so again, this is just a short kind of vlog, just me sharing my perspective, what's coming out in the moment. And I also wanted to share just more about these spell jars, these magical spell jars. This one was created, again, the first intention was to create a protection shield around the human and to like help you break curses and hexes and all of that stuff. Then it eventually developed into something that is far more harmonizing and more accepting of the shadow. And now what the jar feels like to me, it's a lot of alchemy. It is alchemizing light and shadow from within. And if there is, you feel like negative energy around you, this will kind of absorb that negative energy and alchemize it. Now, the ingredients that I have in here are cascarilla, which is eggshell crushed into a powder, and also I have juniper berries and rice, frankincense, resin. I also have crystals. So 2 of these jars have obsidian, and then the other 2 have tourmaline. And I also have here cinnamon essential oil. And I think that's pretty much it for the herbs and all those magical things. But yeah, it is sealed with the black candle that actually turned out to be white on the inside. So that's just, again, it's so powerful. The alchemical energy within this jar is truly fascinating. And if you resonated with the information that I shared in this video, then you will definitely love the energy of this jar. So yeah, It's all about alchemizing the dark and the shadow from within so that we can start seeing everything from a space of neutrality. Like, my friend, there is nothing to fear about the darkness, to fear about the shadow. It's all layers and layers and layers of distortion. But once we get through or past those layers, we will be able to really see the light within the shadow. And I think that's very beautiful. This also serves as, what I shared earlier about the antidote. The poison becomes the antidote. So the shadow, the darkness, the energy that is held within this jar also acts as the antidote to whatever you are experiencing in your life that seems or that feels negative. So yeah, I will leave a lot more information about these jars in my website. So if you want to dive deeper into what I feel with these jars, then you'll be able to find all the information there, and they will be available so you can purchase them. You can send me an email, or you can use the form at the bottom of the page where I will be showcasing these jars. And yeah, I'll be sure to send them your way. And thank you so much for watching, my friend. This is pretty much all I have. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. And again, it's all about harmonizing the shadow, listening to the shadow, to what the shadow has to say, so that we can come back to a space of neutrality and see it all with love and compassion. Have empathy and it's all beautiful. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, turn on that notification bell, follow me on social media, TikTok, Instagram at the Metaphysical Chick, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.